connection. Now is my screen visible? Yeah, now I'm back. Can you hear me? So yeah,
Yes, you can go ahead.
yeah. So whenever a record is created, suppose let's take an incident table with the, you can add the filter conditions, because for every incident you need not create trigger this particular flow. So you can select the conditions, like let's say categories, software, and the subcategory is let's say keyboard. So the hardware, let's keep hardware, and yeah, and then done. So coming to the actions. So what are actually actions? So coming to the actions, if you see here, you can see the action, flow logic, and subflow. So let's come from the subflow. So what actually a subflow mean is, so whenever you have a flow and you want to trigger another flow, which has no trigger conditions, so which is called as subflow. It actually uh, a reusable logic where you will be having the limited steps. So you can, if you see here, you can create the new tab. So let's go here and click on new, and if you say subflow, and let's say test build. If you see here, you are only providing the inputs, outputs, and you are again writing your actions over here. So in the flow designer, you can call the subflow. Subflow is a reusable logic with the limited steps. And coming to the action, action is another one, which is again a custom action. So you can write either the script. If you see here, you can have the you can have the approvals, so you can update the record, you can create the task. And in ServiceNow we have many actions. So related to the record, if you see the default ones, if you see up to 10, we have like sending the SMS, sending the notifications, and coming to the attachments. So if anyone has sent an attachment with a record, you can copy the attachment, you can delete the attachment, and coming to the emails and change. So these are all again coming to this is an action. And whenever, if you see again, go to the home page and click on new, you see an action. So this particular action, let's say test action. So again, if you see here, we have the inputs and the outputs. So where you will be providing the inputs from your flow, and it will again provide the outputs as an output in the action, which you can actually use in your flow. So again, coming to the, if you see here in our actions, we also have the service catalog. So whenever you keep your trigger condition as service catalog, then these are all the actions which you can do. You can create the catalog task, you can get all the catalog variables from that particular catalog item, and you can create for the record producers, you can do this. And coming to this, you can submit the catalog item request. And if you see here the spokes and all, so for these are like the third party applications. So whenever if you want to integrate the third party applications, then you can actually have the spokes, and through the flow you can create the records and you can do such kind of stuff in this. So basically if you see now here the flow logic, so flow logic is where you'll be having the if conditions. So if this particular category, so let's say let's take if mm, my let's say the short description, if the short description contains uh, test. Okay, and here if you see drag and drop a pill, so you can drag our incident record which was triggered here. So you can drag, and so whenever my description, so incident records description, so you have to go into the incident record and get the short description. So if you see here, these are all the fields of the incident. So whenever I drag and drop the short description contains test. So if my short description contains test, then what should I do? So here if you see, this is my if condition, and if you see here, then let's take updating a record. So let's create our update, and if you see here, let's take the incident table and let's add the assigned to as the tutor and the state to in progress, and you can add the other fields if needed. Let's say the catalog, the configuration item as something like this and this. So if you see here, our trigger condition, when this particular flow triggers, whenever the category is hardware and the subcategory is category keyboard. And after this, once this particular condition is triggered, this flow starts running. And if you see here, if the short description contains test, only then this create or updating of the incident record will be done. Okay, so where you can select the assigned to, the state and the configuration item. So up to this, let's test. So after done, you can activate the flow here. So once only if you activate this, only then this particular flow will be triggered or it will be in the process. And now let's go to our instance and let's see, incident, create new, and our category should be hardware and our subcategory should be keyboard, and test my flow. And now let's save this record. Now if you see, this particular flow gets triggered where you can actually see under the execution. So if you see here, we have a 3 dots where you can check the properties, you can check the executions. Executions is where how many times